like put you off.
No, I'm just waiting for you to jump into the intro like you did last week.
I'm driving this time.
Oh, you're driving this time, so I'm allowed.
Yes.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Slice of Fried Gold. My name is Paddy.
I'm Ben.
If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Everybody, like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, comment down below on this week's topics of discussion, and if you are listening to us on Spotify, please do give us a 5-star review. With that all being said, Ben, how are you?
I do not like this road. It's too tight.
Nobody's ever complained on tightness, Ben. Maybe. Well, okay. No heterosexual couple has ever complained on tightness, Ben.
I have known people to say, yeah, it's too tight. It's been difficult to get in, and then when they're in, it's too painful because it's too tight.
Fair enough. And you're just like, after all these years, I'm still tight.
Oh no. What was it?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
No, but I can't remember exactly the scene. But like someone commented on my age, and they they made me way younger, and it was just that that moment when you still get asked for ID in the shops.
Oh wow!
It's like I'm still young.
Missed those days.
Is instead of when you're buying like beer or an energy drink, and they just come over, they just look you up and down, and then they just hit the button that says clearly over 25. You're like.
Mine isn't even they look me up and down. They just walk towards me and they just do it. And I'm just like, dude, I know I've had a hard life, but Jesus.
Yeah. To be fair, I was like on Tinder the other day.
Yeah.
Doing my whole left, right. I came across a guy who was 25.
Yeah.
And he looked 40.
Oh, wow.
I was so tempted to like match with him. Just be like, dude, the fuck happened?
Tell me about your life.
Like, Jesus. If you are 25, the world has not been kind to you.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to take a quick shout out.
Okay.
We have gone international.
What do you mean?
I got a video from someone who watches our videos overseas. Come on, put it together.
I thought you meant like somebody somebody found you, stalked you, and contacted you. I didn't realise it was a friend.
No.
Okay.
But this podcast is now international.
By one viewer.
Hey, that one viewer, it's all that matters.
Oh, does it? Okay.
And the other thing is, the other day I was parking up at Tesco's.
Yeah.
And this guy was trying to park in the bay opposite me, and he gave me PTSD.
Why?
So, when we were doing our driving tests,
yes.
We were told like you're no longer allowed when you're reversing into a parking spot. You're no longer allowed to look over your shoulder through the back window. You got to use your mirrors.
Yeah.
He did the whole thing of take his belt off, arm over the headrest of the passenger seat, and looked round. Yeah. And my whole body just like tensed up because that was the moment my dad used to be sit still.
Yeah. You see, I never got that because what used to happen was when I went to college and everybody started passing their tests and all that.
Yes.
The moment everybody passed their test, they suddenly started doing that.
Really?
I was just like, did you get taught that? And they were like, no, it's just clearly easier. And I was just like, but like, why? What's going on? Why would you, like, now suddenly do that?
Yeah.
You've never done it before. I am in the car, and it's probably the first time you've done this, and I'm about to die.
But yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. It's like, we were not taught that. Even, I remember our driving instructor be like, that's no longer how you do reverse. You're expected to do it via your mirrors only, and if you can't do it via your mirrors, you shouldn't be passing your test. I was like, that's a valid comment.
Yeah, I get that.
But then, just the way, like, I wasn't even in the same car as him, but I just sort of like...
you go breathe in, didn't you? Oh my god, breathe in!
It's like when you came to a T-junction and your parents just like push you into the seat, sit back! And
It was when, I don't know about you, but it was like when my dad was like driving and it was like all four of us in the car.
Yeah.
And like, I would sit behind my mum in the passenger side.
Yeah.
And he would then like reach over and then like the face of concentration on that man when he was looking back, I was just like sinking my seat. I was like, good lord.
I remember for me, I got ripped off when it came to car journeys.
Oh really?
Yes.
Why?
So growing up, it was always the tallest person got the passenger seat. Fine, grand. I accept. Tallest person, longer legs, gets the passenger seat with all the leg room.
Okay, yeah.
The moment I become the tallest person in the family, oldest person gets the passenger seat.
Oh, really?
Fuck.
No.
This is a rip-off. Who do I complain to?
I would like to speak to the manager, please.
Where is the passenger seat ombudsman? Because I need to make a complaint.
No.
How is it that it's the moment I become the tallest person, it changes from the tallest to the oldest?
Yeah.
This is an outrage. This is a scandal. I'm going to the newspaper.
No, it was always the hierarchy of power in my car.
Fair enough.
So it was just like, if it was like me and dad or me and mum, if it was just like one child in the car, then it would be that the kids would sit in the back.
Yeah.
You'd sit in the front. But if both kids, but it was one parent, both kids sit in the back, that's it, end of discussion. There's no complaints.
Oh, no.
So, because there was only two of us, there was like four of you.
Yeah,
three, depending on at the time.
Whilst there was four of us children, usually because we had two cars, so you usually have one parent and two children per car, kind of thing. And it was always tallest person in the front, shortest person in the back, and I was fine with it until I got mugged of my rightful seat in the car.
I am the rightful king of the Iron Throne.
It's just. I was watching this TikTok video the other day, and it was talking about like weird things you do with your siblings.
I've seen a few of them.
The one he was talking about is like they didn't have enough sofas in the living room for him and his siblings, and so it was like one person always had to sit on the floor. So him and his siblings devised this thing of if you went to the toilet or anything, you had to touch the seat and say saved.
Okay.
And of course, if you didn't say that, and the person sitting on the floor did it before you lost your seat.
That's fair.
And I was just like, I can't think off the top of my head the kind of weird things me and my siblings used to do, but surely we had similar things.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, me and my sibling, we used to just beat the shit out of each other. I mean, to be honest, I don't think we had anything similar like that. Because we had like two-seater sofas and there was four of us in the house.
So it worked,
So everything like that, there was no like arguments about those kind of things. I think like naturally and like we would always sit in the same seats. Like mum and dad had their seats on the sofa.
Yeah.
And then like naturally we would then sit in like the seats like next to them. So it was very much like, there was no arguments about that. It was when then people came round that would then cause the issues because like then there wasn't enough seats and like you would like, well, I'm now too big to squeeze in between two other adults. So like my sister would get that and then I would get like a dining chair in the living room.
I was like in those cases when people were visiting, I was always relegated to the floor. You're the youngest, you can sit on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, I'd get the floor, but
I have thought of one idiosyncrasy me and my siblings did. Mm-hmm. It was if the moment you got up, if it was to go toilet or anything, it'd be like, "Are you going to go grab a drink?" And and if you said yes, you can get me one as well. And I was like, "You bastard!"
I still remember to this day that I was sitting at home, right, and this will haunt me to my grave, that my sister, I randomly remembered once, I was sitting there in the living room watching TV, and I was just like, my sister's doing the dishwasher. What is wrong with her? She never does the housework.
Right.
And I was like, this is really random, but I'm going to ignore it. And then because you know the layout of our house.
I do.
As I saw her then go upstairs, she had a mug in her hand. I was like, did you make a cup of tea? And she was just like, yeah. I was like, you didn't want to make me one? She was like, no. Turns out she did the dishwasher to hide the fact that she was making a cup of tea, to cover the fact that she didn't want to make me a cup up.
Brilliant.
I was like, I am one, proud of you, and two, so disgusted. Like, you would so choose to do housework, things that you never did at all, that there was family arguments about.
Yeah.
Now you did that just so you wouldn't make me a cup of tea. It would have been easier to make me a cup of tea than do the dishwasher.
Yeah.
But that sometime.
Yeah. Other than that, nothing really to say on my end. Paddy, how are you?
Well, I've had my long week.
Yes.
My long couple of weeks. I'm kind of back to a normal schedule of work, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
Me and the other half had to venture into Chelmsford the other day.
Oh no.
And you could tell that we were in
Chelmsford?
More deep Essex.
Okay.
We came around the corner and this car had parked out and this guy got out of like the passenger side.
Yeah.
Classic chav, you know, like
yeah.
grey joggers, black socks and slides on, you know. And we were like, we could see him screaming and shouting and waving his arms. And I was like, what's going on? And the next thing you knew, like, he kicked his slides off and took his t-shirt off.
Right.
And started like running up the hill. And we were like, what? And then as we saw him, we like panned to see a cyclist. And the cyclist turned back round and cycled the fuck away. So it was something obviously happened that deemed the fact that the man in the car needed to get out and have an argument with the cyclist.
So this guy is a reincarnated dog.
Yes.
Who chases cyclists.
Yeah, pretty much. But I was just like, you know, when I was just like, we're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy.
Question, why Chelmsford when Colchester is closest?
Because we were going to something. It was like one of her friends' birthdays.
Right.
So, and it was in Chelmsford. And but that was just like, you know, when you're just like, we're in deep Essex now. I live on the Essex border. Like, we're in deep Essex. This is like deep country, you know? But yeah, other than that, a couple of usual, like, silly customer stories. Had one couple that, like, with some hotels, like, they will use, like, third-party booking systems.
Yes.
We have two systems, I won't name them. One I really hate and one I don't mind.
Okay. I think I know which one you hate.
Yeah, the Melissa McCarthy advert.
Yeah. Oh, it's Tina Fey now.
Oh, it is Tina Fey now.
Yeah.
Actually, that's very true. But it was actually with the one that is like, it's more of a boutique-y one, so you don't tend to get like dickheads.
Yeah.
So this like couple call up and they were just all like, we want to book, and we're like going through this, the whole rigmarole, and they were like, okay, so how do we apply the voucher? And we were like, oh, if you got a voucher, like one of our vouchers to use, then obviously you just, when it comes to paying when you check out, and they said, oh, does it work with the same with this company's one? And we were like, well, no, we now have to delete your booking so you can call them to use the voucher with them, because you have to, like, claim that. And they couldn't understand that.
Wait, so they had two vouchers?
No, they had one voucher, but it was for the booking company.
Right, okay.
And of course, well, if you have a voucher for that company, you need to use the voucher for that company and they will redeem it with us.
Yeah.
So they were already knocked off about this.
Right, yeah.
They came, classic, picking holes in little things, this and that.
Yeah.
The biggest, like, I'd been up and down, left, right and centre with these people, doing this and doing that and doing that, complaining about the fact that, and I think this is quite reasonable, there was two people staying in the hotel. So, in the hotel room, so we gave them 2 bottles, or in our case, 2 cans of water.
Yeah.
Like most hotels, if there's 2 people in the room, you give 2 bottles of water, or whatever it is that you supply.
Yes.
They made a comment about the fact, oh, is that all the water we're allowed? I was like, oh, we're going to play like this. I see how this is.
Is that all the water you're allowed? No, there's the tap. You're more than welcome to use the tap.
Mate, I was very close because I was like, it was the last day of like my long stretch.
Yeah.
And by that time, I was so agitated by everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, there's plenty more water. If you need more, just let me know, kind of thing. And then the piece de resistance was, she came down and she was like, there's an issue with the shower. I was like, right, okay, well, let's go up. I'm literally looking at my watch and I'm clocking off in 50 seconds. Like, let's go and organise this really quickly. She was like, it's a walk-in shower. Okay. And the husband's gone, I've just gone in to try and have a shower and I can't have a shower because the floor's wet. I said to them, what? The floor in the walk-in shower's wet? And I was like, was it not clean before? Sorry, I was like, oh, sorry, was it not, like, had it not been cleaned? And they said, no, I turned the shower on, but the water is on the floor. How am I expected to have a shower? And I'm like, by going under the shower? I was so confused.
Yeah.
And I was just like, so what's the issue? He was like, well, I can't and then she was like, well, I can't go in the shower after him if the floor's wet. And I was like, it will dry.
Question, do they have showers at home?
Well, apparently not.
Maybe they only have baths.
I mean, my favourite bit of it was when they initially walked in and said, oh, name's Mr. Bloggs or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to check in. Yeah, that's fine. Got the paperwork. Then literally the next thing he said to me was, subject to availability, we're entitled to a free upgrade. I would like the upgrade. And I said, I know, it gets better. And I went, well, you've booked the best room, so there is no upgrading. And he was just like, oh, okay. So when I was just like, well, you can move rooms. And he was like, oh, so you're downgrading us then? And I was just like, well, no, that's your choice if you want to move a room. Yeah. But, like, there's nothing I can do. It's a walk-in shower. The only other room we have in the building is another room with a walk-in shower. Oh, too late.
Yeah.
Oh well.
If he hadn't got his main beams on all the way until the end, I might have been able to see that rock.
Well, yeah.
The fact that he had his main beams on all the way for me to drive along.
Well, actually, it wasn't a rock. It looked like a squirrel.
It was inanimate.
Oh, was it? Fair enough. Either way, so they would like, you know, when just somebody walks in and the first vibe you get from them is that they're going to be awkward.
100%, yeah.
So I was like, right, well, I'm going to give you the key to the other room. If you want to use that room for a shower or stay in that room, you do what you want to do. And they said, we'll discuss it later. I said, that's fine. I've finished now, so I'm going home. I then went quickly downstairs, emailed the company just to let them know that they're being pain in the arse from the start. The likelihood is you're going to get a complaint from them, this and that. Heads up, you're welcome. They replied, I was the one who booked him in. They were awkward on the phone. That's fine, don't worry. So it was just like, if you're going to go out to somewhere and have a nice night away because somebody's bought you a voucher to use with this company, then enjoy your evening. If you're going to come in and start picking things and being annoying and have a bad attitude to it, you're not going to enjoy your stay.
Yep.
So if you're going to be like that, don't come. Mm-hmm. So but that wasn't the peak of my week. I'm not going to get too far into it, but that was a rather irritating thing to the end of my week. But other than that, a lot of other stressful stuff, which I've mentioned to you, which I won't divulge just here. But other than that, I'm pretty chill.
Yeah.
So
it reminds me once when I was working for the Purple Hotel.
Yeah.
I think I did 19 days on the trot.
Yeah.
And come about day 14, 15, I remember I was just standing there going, if this hotel was to burn down, I'd probably be the one who set it off.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be, it's not that if this hotel was to burn down, I'd let it. No. It was
me who did it.
It was me.
Absolutely. It was me.
Just, yeah. And then, customers who, the moment they walk through the door, you'd be like, right, you're going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly that. You just know from the start. You just know from the way they're speaking, the way their attitude is. You're just like, cool. You're gonna have a shit stay because you're in a bad attitude.
Subject to availability, I'm entitled to a free upgrade. You're fucking entitled, mate.
Yeah,
so entitled. Get your head out of your ass.
But the thing was, he admittedly said it was subject to availability and said, I want the upgrade.
Yeah.
But you already know it's subject to availability.
Is that something that goes on the website he's booked it through? Is that something right?
It's something that you book through these, and so the idea is what they do is they try and get you to book So we have three tiers of rooms in our hotel.
Right.
Cozy, classic, and superior.
Right.
Okay. So what they try and do is they try and book out your cozy rooms, and then they say subject to availability to the customer. If you have a superior or a classic room free, you're entitled to that upgrade.
Right.
Most hotels do free upgrades anyway because they want you to have a good stay. And if you're booked into the smallest room in the hotel and a much better room is free and it's no problem for us, then they're going to put you into that room anyway.
Yeah.
But if you've already booked the highest tier of room, you're not going to get an upgrade because there is nothing else to upgrade you to.
When you should have just gone, and here is a booking for another hotel over the way.
If only, yeah.
I remember, like, when I was working at the Purple Hotel, of course, the website kind of missold it, saying, oh, there's waterside views in some of the... There was 2 rooms with waterside views. And even then, you had to kind of, like, sit up against the window with your cheek against the window and look the right way, and you got a waterside view. And people would be like, we want the biggest room with the waterside view. And it's like, well, actually, the 2 waterside rooms are the 2 of the smallest rooms in the hotel. So do you want a big room or do you want a waterside view room? Because they are 2 different places in the hotel.
It's exactly that, isn't it?
And the smart ones would always ask for the bigger room, and they would always be like, oh, I had such a great night's sleep. And I'm like, no, you did.
Yeah, because you had a good sized room.
And because the 2 waterside rooms were also right at the start of the corridor, so everyone was coming by them and everything. So constant door, you know, traffic on the other side.
If I try and stay in one of them, if I stay in one of them hotels, I always try and be like end of the corridor or top floor, so I don't have a person. I'd rather have to go all the way up to the top floor to ensure that I've not got a noisy person above me. Because that's the worst. But that's the sum up of my week.
Okay.
And that's the sum up of hotels, people, just so you have for your information. Should we talk film?
Let's talk film.
So, we've just been to see The Dead Don't Hurt.
Yes.
Starring Viggo Mortensen. Written by Viggo Mortensen. Directed by Viggo Mortensen. And adding to the list, composed by Viggo Mortensen. Do you want to go first?
Okay, I'll go first. Yes, it is a film.
It was a film.
It exists. My problem with it is I saw all the things coming. I'm not going to talk about the things, because of course they're in very vague words, plot twists.
But
it was like spoilers. Yeah, there's a moment where something happened. I called the next 2 bits. And even as we were waiting for you to go pee before we left the cinema, I was speaking to American, and he was like, "Oh, I called that one. I didn't call that one." I was like, "How did you not call that one? That was so really? Easy." Okay. So it was like it. Obviously, he's written it himself. He's probably not had anyone. Well, he's. I say written it himself. He's probably had a team of people, but he's probably written it, and they've not had the heart of gone, yeah, this has been done 101 times before. My biggest problem with it, and I'm going back to drama terms here.
Oh wow!
Is I was sitting there going, what's his objective and what's his super objective?
Yeah.
And for those who didn't do drama in school, an objective is what is his goal in this scene, and then the super objective is what is his goal throughout the whole story.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there going, well, what's his objective? What's his super objective? What are we doing here? And that was, I think, my biggest gripe with it.
I agree with you on that, but also I think the problem with this, what it is it's because it's, and I will use this a lot, because it's Aragorn, son of Arathorn, heir to the throne of Isildur and the rightful king of Gondor, everybody assumes that he's the main character, and he's not.
No.
And I think that's the thing, especially, that because it's directed by him, written by him, you know, it stars him, he composes it as well.
His face is literally on the poster.
Yeah. But in the classic thing of movie posters, if you actually look at it, he's not in the title position. It's the wife. She's in the front. She's at the head of the poster. She's got the biggest character photo.
Yeah.
She is the main character. And to his dismay, the only times I've seen, I didn't really know much about this movie at all.
No.
I didn't see the trailer until you said about seeing it, so I watched the trailer to see what it was about.
It was more, I just went on to cinema and I was like, what is showing tonight? And I was like, there's this or nothing.
Yeah. It was exactly that as well. But, like, I didn't really know much about it, apart from he was in it and he was directing it. I didn't realise until I watched the trailer that he was, had written it as well. And then it wasn't until the credits, like, we saw he composed it as well. Yeah. So this is obviously a passion project for him.
Yeah.
Passion projects are either good or bad.
Yeah.
They either are, it's one of those things that people will sit there and go, yes sir, it's great, yes sir, it's great, yes sir, it's great. Or they'll say, no, you need to do this and this and this. I feel like somebody should have said, there needs to be a bit more to it.
Yeah,
I feel it was very much style over style over substance.
Well done.
Yeah, I know, it's just tongue tie for me, that one. Because photography-wise, this was a beautiful film.
Yeah.
The cinematographer was outstanding in this. It was really, really good. I feel like the wife, she was really, really good actress.
Yeah.
I think, she carried this film for me. I feel like she did really, really well with the script that she had. I found it it's a 2-hour film. It felt 3 hours. Mm-hmm. And the first hour, I really struggled with concentrating with it, with time jumps and the story and trying to keep with it. Overall, it was an okay film. People aren't going to be watching this movie. And is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I don't know. It's just a thing. It's a film. It's not breaking any ground, but it's okay.
Do you know what? For me, it was very reminiscent of films from like the 60s.
Yeah.
Where you've got a scene and you've got about a minute or so where either nothing is said or nothing happens.
Yeah.
And that's very, very much a 50s through 70s kind of thing. If you look at if you watch those old kind of films, that's what happens.
Yeah, and what they're trying to do is invoke emotion through it and
a sense of history.
And things like that. And it did work to a degree for me, because when a certain couple of things happen to the mum, because we've been on that journey for the last hour with her, I felt the emotion from it. But even then, that first hour, you could have shaved half hour out of that, and we're talking an hour and a half film. That would have been perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then where I say it's very much in the style of a 50s, 60s, 70s film, where it's very slow and everything, and you've got those moments where like case in point, how because Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes just came out and they put all the other Planet of the Apes films on Disney Plus, and I watched them all. There's this my example is in one of the earlier Planet of the Apes films. There's just this scene where you've got all these people dressed up as apes, walking over a bridge, and that's all it is. It's a minute and a half long scene of just these people just walking over a bridge dressed as apes, and after the first 10-15 seconds, you're like, okay, I get it. Let's move on.
You spit on,
But the question is, of course, because Viggo isn't the youngest of men, so could it be that he's done it in this sort of style because those are the films he grew up on?
Well, I think there's that, but also, I was probably the youngest person in the screening tonight. You are older
by 8 weeks.
It still counts, but either way,
yes, you were probably the youngest.
We were the youngest people in that in that screen.
Also, just side note.
What?
Side note.
What?
When you're booking tickets in a cinema, if the screen is absolutely empty, why book tickets right next to another group of people? Why?
You know why? It's because he did his... So the guy comes in, he sits right next to the Ben, okay? Him and his missus sit right next to the Ben, okay? But the booking system will not allow you to leave a seat.
No.
Cineworld or other cinemas chains are available should know that this movie was not going to be a packed house.
No.
So there should be a way for them to go, it's okay to leave a vacant seat.
Basically,
and change it.
Because
you'll
always get those people who want to sit right at the back, at the top of the stairs for the leg room. Yeah. And it's hilarious because 9 times out of 10, they are 5 feet shorter than me and you.
Oh God, they're always
and it's like, what leg room do you need, sir?
Yeah.
And it was just like, and I turned to you, didn't I? I was like, I knew I should have booked those seats. Just so they didn't.
Yeah.
Because if I'd booked them seats, they would have fucked off somewhere else, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But what?
But as you got up to go to the loo, he then got up.
Yeah.
Because he knew that he had fully intended to get up and then move to the other side to leave a seat I feel
I don't
like that's
know.
what he did because when he sat down, he just shoved his coat in between the two chairs.
Yeah.
But then when he got up, he actually got his coat out and put it out over the chair properly. So I feel like he fully intended to move, but he was waiting a bit closer till the screen started to then move.
That, or with me getting up and having him to, tuck his feet, and he's gone, oh, I'm not going to sit here because he might get up again. And then, of course, got up, and then...
and then did.
We're just going to have to bleep their names now.
Yeah, we will. Nobody listens to this anyway, it's fine.
But, yeah.
Anyway.
Don't sit next to someone else. Like, there's an empty screen.
Yeah.
Pick somewhere else. You're too short to care about legroom.
Yeah. Final thoughts. If you're going to go into a hotel with a bad attitude, expect to have a bad time, fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Siblings do weird things that other people don't understand, but as a sibling, you understand it, and it's a kind of an unwritten rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
What else did I talk about? Parents driving is scary stuff.
Parents driving is scary stuff.
Yeah.
Deep Essex is a scary place.
Mm-hmm. Certain things, they give you PTSD, and you just sit there and you're like, ah!
And the dead don't hurt. Blah.
Yeah.
Blah.
Yeah.
So, Carl agrees.
Well, it's alive now.
She lives.
It's when they said the name in the title, it's like, roll
credits. I almost did the Peter Griffin thing. It was like, he said the thing! Anyway, but with that all being said, thank you very much for joining us. Have you watched this movie? Have you been to Deep Essex? Have you...
got siblings? Have you got a sibling story to share?
Let us know down below. Or you can also email us at sliceoffriedgoldpod@gmail.com. If you have any other stories or anything you want to tell us about, do you like to sit next to random people in the cinema, which is completely against etiquette?
I like to sit next to them and sniff them.
Yeah, I know you do.
I mean, if it was some 6-foot Swedish guy with a nice, rippling abs, I would sit right here. Come.
Please, Mr. Skarsgård.
But it wasn't. It was some old fucker who just... he obviously, I could feel the chip on his fucking shoulder.
You could feel the mothballs in his pocket.
Yeah. And I was like, mate, you're not long for this world. Just move over.
And if that movie didn't kill him, I don't know what the fuck did. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for joining us. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. If you are listening to us on Spotify, please do give us a 5-star review. And thank you very much. See you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.